As far as preparing for this season, differently from last, my good grief. Last season I didn't have a clue what I was getting myself into, so there was no preparation. I just dove in headfirst and had no idea what I was doing. This year I feel like my preparation was so much more about preparing Evangeline than it was about preparing Kate. I had to prepare my own heart and mind because I was really spun out by the end of last year. With all the pressures and the lifestyle differences and the challenges that had come along with doing this television show.
What's that one?
What did I discuss regarding Kate's development with JJ and Damon over the hiatus? Over the hiatus, I had pretty much no contact whatsoever with my producers or other cast members. I just zoned right out of Lost. I mean, I was trying as hard as I could to remove myself and not be calling producers and not be calling cast and not be thinking about the show or trying to get a hold of a script. I completely just allowed myself to release myself into the bliss of ignorance and thought I was ignorant all first season. I can go into second season ignorant and I'll be just fine. I relate to my character Kate in so many ways because I think at her core, her and I have a lot of similarities. She's just extremely jaded and extremely skeptical and sort of hardened towards a lot of intimacy and a lot of vulnerability, and I think that she has a hard time letting people in, and I tend to think of myself, and I know one of my weaknesses is that I wear a pretty hard shell on the outside, but at the same time I think there is a side of me that is extremely sensitive and extremely vulnerable and is easily hurt, and that's why that show comes up. And I think that Kate is very much that girl, and she learned that, you know, being vulnerable means you get hurt, and she didn't want that anymore, and so she put up some barriers. I always say that my method for acting, which is completely unorthodox, I'm sure, is I play make-believe. I get to set and I pretend like I'm 6 years old again, and this world is the real world, and this beach is Lost Island, and my friends and co-workers, the cast, are their characters, and I play make-believe. I pretend I'm Kate. Probably one of my favorite parts of my job is the feedback that I get from fans. My fan mail is like the highlight of my week. I love reading those letters and, you know, reaching out and talking to people and feeling like somehow through what I do, even though it feels so removed and detached from everyone else out there, it's connecting to people, and I really love that. Lost is a hit because, I think, because it goes so much deeper than most television nowadays. Every day people grapple with what they believe and how they understand the world, and that's what our show deals with. It deals with what human beings have to go through on a day-to-day basis, and it just takes it though and puts it in a fishbowl or on an island so that we can all watch it and observe it and understand it better. And through understanding the characters on our show better, I think that people are developing a better understanding of themselves. And to me, that's miraculous. For television to go from a place of separating people and alienating people and isolating people and detaching them from real life, to being a television show that brings families together, brings friends together, makes people talk, makes people interact, and makes people reevaluate who they are, is something really special. 10 years from now, where would I like to be? I am terrified to admit this to the rest of the acting world, but ideally 10 years from now I'd like to be a retired actress, and I would like to have a family, and I'd like to be writing, and potentially you know, maybe influencing people's lives in a more humanitarian way, as almost everybody in the world now knows was my intention before I started this show.